Warning, the following video has full spoilers for the finale of Digimon Adventure 2020. Close the video now if you do not want to be spoiled. Thank you very much. There it is, confirmed. See, I like this, everyone's getting their moment. Let's go. There's all the crests. See, this should be merciful mode, right? But it's gonna be ultra S, right? Yeah, those arms are changing. Let's go, ultra S. There it is, confirmed. Who doubted me? Yeah, there it is in the final hour, ultra S, just as the Digivice predicted. Leomon survived the season. Wow. No way, the mind game outro, actually is happening. They actually get to come back to the human world with their partners. Mimi's girl bossing. New adventure to a new world digital gate trial. That's awesome. Feels like they're setting up that 02 reboot that's not happening. Okay, and that's it. Digimon Adventure 2020 is officially over. Now, this is not my thoughts on the whole season. I'm hoping either to do like a scripted thing or like more of a roundtable discussion, maybe with the Digino, who has been doing the phenomenal recaps every week. Me and the Digino talked weeks ago about potentially kind of doing like a bit of a discussion after the season finished. So my full thoughts on this season are not this video. This is just my thoughts on this finale. Before we get into my thoughts on that season finale, I would like you to check out this sponsored message from Past Karn. For once, Past Karn is interrupting Future Karn. I know, it's a crazy world we live in right now. And that is because today's video is sponsored by the wonderful ZeninTCG. Keen from ZeninTCG hit me up when you were watching this a couple of days ago because we had an overwhelming response to the last time that I partnered with ZeninTCG, and because obviously we've got a lot of Digimon stuff coming out, as well as ZeninTCG getting a lot of restocks. If you're a Digimon collector at this point, I am sure you're familiar with ZeninTCG. They are like the go-to Digimon third-party supplier for Digimon fans across the world, and Zenin is about to get restocks on a bunch of awesome Digimon products, including the Special Vital Bracelet, Black Vital Bracelet, the Digimon Adventure EX DiMs, the Digimon DiM Card Volume 1 set, and the GP01 Tamer DiM cards of Guilmon, Impmon, Renamon, and Monodramon, as well as Digimon Figurines from the Digimon NXEdgestyle line, Omnimon, Jukemon, and Alphamon, and the Digimon caged figurines. Those are the Digimon caged figures in particular I'm super excited for. And I do want to stress that these restocks are hard to come by, and most of these will be the last restocks that ZeninTCG are going to have. So if you're looking to get any of these, I would recommend jumping on it now. All of these are or will be available on ZeninTCG when this video goes live, so do check the link in the description, and as a reward for my audience, the first 60 people to use the offer code KarnEX101 at checkout with ZeninTCG will get 10% off their order, but that's not it. We're also doing a giveaway. One of the first 60 people to use that offer code KarnEX101 to make a purchase on ZeninTCG will be entered into a competition to win the Special Vital Bracelet, the Vmon version with the Vmon DiM card. So if you haven't got that yet, you're excited for Ghost Game but wish you'd got the Vmon version because it was super sold out everywhere, go and make a purchase with Zenin, buy one of those Digimon minifigures or something, use my code KarnEX101, get 10% off your order and get entered in to win that special VB. Thank you so much to Zenin for sponsoring this video. Thank you to you guys for checking out the sponsor. Let's get back to the video. And I will say the past couple of episodes have kind of tied up a lot of the more loose ends of the season. I actually really enjoyed this finale. I thought the visuals were absolutely on point. They obviously put a lot more of the budget into this finale than some other episodes of the season. And I think a nice open-ended ending, if they ever did want to do like a 02 reboot or a continuation of Digimon Adventure 2020 after Ghost Game is finished, it would be a good launching point for that. Or just a nice point to kind of end. Now, did we need 67 episodes to get here? God, no. We needed probably 37, if I'm honest with you. I will say it did all kind of come together a little bit more for me. Now that we know Alter S is a thing, we've kind of known it since day one thanks to the Digivice 2020, it makes Blitzgreymon and Crescarurumon feel a little bit more worthwhile. Not fully worthwhile, because it was a real 30-second blink and you'll miss it kind of appearance from Alter S there. I still think that should have been Merciful Mode. As much as I don't like Merciful Mode that much, I think that makes more sense for the whole like all the crests combined thing they were going for with this this finale, but you know, in this continuity, that could be Alter-S, fine. I think the whole concept of like Omegamon as a winged angel, as a miracle, would also have made more sense for Merciful Mode, but I don't mind that Alter-S was more just kind of like a mode change and they switched the guns and the swords from one hand to the other. The general tone of this finale was good, and I have not been a huge fan of the ride. I still think ultimately like Alter-S's payoff didn't feel 100% earned because again, they just tried harder. But something I did want to talk about and something I was disappointed with last time is that the visual identity of powering up in Digimon is something I love, because Digimon denotes an increase in power through either evolution or mode change. And I know there's been a lot of fighting for people who love the fact that like Omnimon was so early and has now showed up towards the end, and people that absolutely hate the fact that Omnimon showed up so early and now shows up at the end. I tweeted this, but I think a lot of the problems with that could have been fixed if they'd have just given like the early episode Omnimon like no cape and maybe taken the little symbol off his chest or something, just to signify that the one at the end of the season that required all the crests was stronger. I will say though, it does make sense that Omnimon showed up whenever like a great catastrophe thing arrived, whether that was like Argomon or Abadamon or the Prevo of Abadamon that I'm going to try not to say out loud. So I don't know. I'm going to have to sit on it and mull on it as to whether or not I think Digimon Adventure 2020 was an enjoyable season. Right now, I'm very over it. I'm glad it's ending because 67 episodes, like I love Digimon Tamers, I love Digimon 02. Every time I look at those episode counts, as a grown man who's trying to like run his empire, far too much for me to go and rewatch. So an airing season being 67 episodes, oh my god. There are some things there to really think about, like Mimi and Izzy seemingly working together, having some sort of business, or at the very least working together, maybe with like Mimi's connections with Tachikawa Industries, and Izzy's insane computer knowledge coming together to make a digital gate. None of us are privy to what's going on behind the scenes at Bandai and Toei. I have this feeling that things slightly changed in production. The fact that the Toei Animation Europe website very early doors said that it would be 66 episodes and now there are 67 episodes. The fact that a lot of things kind of felt like they would be leading up to some kind of season 2 and instead we got Ghost Game. Obviously Ghost Game has been in production for a while now because like animation takes time.
Oh yeah,
I do wonder if this is not the end of Digimon Adventure 2020 and more kind of putting a pin in it for now while we explore this spooky season in October and possibly beyond. Who knows how many episodes Digimon Ghost Game is going to have. But overall, while this whole season, and again, my full thoughts on the full season coming at some nebulous date in the future, had its really rocky moments, I think this, for the season we got, was a decent finale. You get to see pretty much every Digimon you've seen throughout this season. The digital world side of things is really good. For me, the thing that has sucked this kind of whole season, but especially again in the finale, is that the stakes of the human world do not feel very strong. And while I care about the digital world being destroyed, I also care about where these kids live, where these kids call home, and like a couple of flashes to like, oh, there's some kids who look worried in the stairwell, and the last episode where they kind of like war gamed it and the kids sent all their support. My main thing here is that I don't feel like with this finale and the other episodes that I have been given anything new, that I have had an element of Digimon that I'm like, oh wow, that's really cool to see that explored. It's basically, you could have taken, you know, any other characters, you could have made brand new characters and done this exact same plot and done this exact same finale and used Omegamon but had two different kids that weren't Taichi and Matt. I don't think they've done anything right up to this last episode with these characters, especially the other 6 kids, that has really made it feel necessary for me for this to be a reboot and not just a brand new season. But obviously they're using the iconography of Digimon Adventure to sell some merch and get some asses in seats. What I do want to say, whether you absolutely love this finale for whatever reason, whether you just have loved this entire ride or you just like the fights and animation and stuff, like I have not been a huge fan of Digimon Adventure 2020, but like seeing Digimon I never thought would show up, like Golemon and Bertmon and stuff, has been a joy. Some of these fights are awesome. Someone on Twitter said this is the best fight in Digimon history. I'm not willing to say that just yet, but it was very enjoyable, especially this whole Alter-S thing. Or whether you absolutely hated it, thought it was just like a complete bastardization. I just want to say going forward, as someone with an audience, I feel like I should say this somewhere that isn't Twitter. It's a cartoon, it's a piece of media, and it is wonderful to be passionate about media you love. Like, I do what I do every day because I adore Digimon and I adore all of the elements of the franchise. So it's okay if you absolutely love Digimon Adventure 2020, and it's okay if you absolutely hate it. And it's more than okay if you are anywhere along that timeline. Like, I'm kind of, you know, sitting on the fence in the middle where I'm like, it was, you know, fine. I don't think it did anything better than the original. This finale certainly is, I don't think, a better finale than the original, and the last arc certainly I don't think is an improvement. And because you're in this fandom space, you're going to see people who absolutely hate the thing you love and people that absolutely love the thing you hate. And that's okay. And I think it's good. I think one of the most beautiful things in life is the subjectivity of opinion. So more than just whether or not I think this season is good, whether or not I think the finale is good, we're going to give it a rating. I'm going to give this finale like a 7 out of 10 on like a 5 out of 10 season. Wherever you fall, like, it's not that deep. If people disagree with you, they're gonna disagree, and people's reasons for liking or loving a thing might be absolutely like just make no sense to you. But that's all right, because it's just a piece of media at the end of the day. It's not high art, and someone else's opinion of a thing you like or dislike does not affect or tarnish or change your opinion on it. If you love Digimon Adventure 2020, I'm legitimately happy for you. I wish I could be there with you, and I'm hoping I can be there for Ghost Game, and I do want people to remember that into Ghost Game. It is equally okay to love something and not care about its faults, but it is also okay for people to shit talk it. Overall, a satisfying season finale on a season that I am not a huge fan of, but it was nice to see Alter S, and I feel a little bit vindicated that I've been calling Alter S since it was in Digivice 2020, and it actually did show up. And that's basically it for this very unscripted, rambly video. Like I say, more formed thoughts will come in the future. As always, I do want to hear from you because, again, in a cynical YouTube way, it's great for the algorithm, gets the video seen, but more importantly, because I love hearing from you guys. So please do be respectful, first of all. Like I say, it's just a kid's cartoon, it's not that deep. Let me know your thoughts on the finale. Did you enjoy Alter S? Did you like seeing everything? Did you like that Leomon lived? Leomon survived a season, guys. Let me know all those thoughts in the comments down below. Please do like and subscribe, I do appreciate it, and do check out that ZeninTCG promo, because if you buy something, you might end up getting the VMon version of the Digimon VB, so pretty worthwhile. All right, let's get out of here. Won't thank channel members today. Let's just do this dead quickly and get out of here. Hope you enjoyed this video. The rest of the video's coming out. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye bye.